is a very general topic, how to yeet in fog matches. Generally speaking, yeeting is a very important strategy in um, fog gameplays, especially in high levels. In high level plays, you once yeet incorrectly into your opponent's enemy and you will receive heavy response and terrible consequences. But however, as long as you yeet correct into your opponent, you will gain great profits because of doing that. So let's today have a look at a few samples on yeeting. Let's have a look at what should we do during the yeet, what should we don't do in the yeet. This is the map Remnant Back Twist, and this is a very ordinary, very famous CO matchup, Drake and Kingdom. This map has a lot of contested properties. This two property and this two property and the center 1 2. So it was like or even this property 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. All these 7 properties, if played correct, can be contested to your opponent. Well, Kingdom clearly gains great advantage in the early game because of her strong day-to-day abilities. So let's skip the basic beginnings. T-copter opening in this map is very good. The T-copter still can transport directly to the center to capture this property first. It is not that likely to be harassed by your opponent. So at this time I saw his recon, and I know over there it is his strong side. It is very likely he has some tanks behind. On this match I chose a very weird opening, the battlecopter opening, as the first vehicle. So I know my recon should retreat, but I still need to have a look at where this recon goes. So I retreat there with a battlecopter covering. So at this crucial moment, in this turn, I think yeah. I saw this tank. I saw this tank moving. Yeah, I saw this tank moving. So I know this property is unreachable from here. So at the same time, at this time, I know I should sit back, like that, with more vehicles trying to back up to reinforce. And this is a really weird turn, because I didn't start capturing this property, the com tower, because of the misclick. Yeah, and at the same time, I was trying to capture this property because I reached there earlier, and I know it was going to be heavily response by his units. If I can attract vehicles going to this property, that is what I want. So he went brutally there. This this was a little bit, how to say it, because I think most of his vehicles will be up in the above areas. So I try to yeet from here in order to capture my com tower safely. The recon hit is a little bit impatient, and I don't recommend doing this. And sadly, so after my last turn, I know it is going to be heavily response by my opponent. So I already built two tanks and a battlecopter trying to reinforce from here. So he yes, as normally he should do. Uh, but to be honest, if I were him, I would like to put a tank on the city to one hit KO the recon. Just let the tank alive, because not only over there the tank amount is superior than mine, but also there's also a battlecopter backup. At the same time, I have nothing at the back. So this well, this was a how to say it. This yet was also very risky. I just my plan over there is that I don't want to Kindle to capture that many properties in the early game, even at the cost of the Greek units. It Seeing back, it was a pretty bad idea. I put I put this battlecopter on the city because I take a bet that he's not going to have an anti-air trying to shoot my battlecopter and get almost one hit KO my anti-air on the city. It is very risky, but I just tried it. I have no choice. I have to attract his attention at the top so that my com tower capture will be secured. So he yet for sure. And from this moment, I know my above units should retreat, or they will just die. And this part of the purple unit start go overextending. Lots of vehicles exposed in my vehicle's reinforcement range. That is very much not advocated in the fog yet sessions, because in fog yeeting sessions generally you yeet only from one side. If you yeet from double side, it is going to be really weird, and because at least one side of your yeet will be overextended and running into your opponent's reinforcement range. Okay, so I get back because the because the Rick bad copters, I cannot really try to harass this battle copter and the one because not capturing the com tower. So, but at the same time, I have a battle copter at the backup. This year is really hurt. This year is really hurting. Uh, don't do that. My early game, this match is really horrible, really horrible. From throwing lot of units, and very good. What is very good is that my superpower finally comes. So just remember one very important thing: never yet on your two fronts, because by then at least one of your front will be very overextended. From there, that is not advocated. That is risky. Don't do that. From there, Purple knows that he's going to retreat at the bottom. So yeah, from here, and after there, I'm certain that I'm going to harass these captures. My vehicles is at a very close reinforced range, and at the same time, the top two properties will be captured by Purple, and I'm unable to harass them. So from here, I decide to harass this capture. So he then retreated, and very interestingly, He has some very aggressive infantry positions. I decide to hit him, and I decide to start front switch, trying to reinforce at the top, at the top. Um, in fog matches, there is another common concept is the damage race or whatever the race. It is very important to check you don't want to get very close into your opponent's reinforcement range. Like your opponent will reinforce in 2 turns, and your reinforce will be reached in 3 turns, which is very bad. And I never decide going to play into this corner unless I won him in the game heavily, because the copter reinforce the vehicle reinforce very fast. So that's the reason I decide to front switch. Always remember in half at the second, uh, be 100% cautious when you decide to get deep into your opponent. Front switch adequately, or you just start adding forces on your weak side, so that your opponent will be punished by their impatient aggressive. I retreat back. Here comes another very important concept. Have a look at this. There went the recon. So he saw lots of my vehicles. Not really a lot of vehicles. He saw my vehicles back up from here. So this engage moment is pretty bad, because the function of vehicles is that you want to use your vehicles to kill your opponent vehicles. If you expose your vehicle movement just to hit a small number of infantries, that's not going to be that's not going to be worth it. So never yet like that. He not only yet overextended, let me saw his main where his main force is. He also let my vehicles hit his vehicles in the first place, which is a crucially bad idea. So the third point, never yet like that. Never yet like that. So my reinforcement reached already, so hit the artillery to 2 HP, which is a very good idea. And from there, I saw I saw some other of his vehicles at the backup. So the fourth thing to remember during your yeeting is, if you not really dispatch a very huge army, don't split your force like that. Look at the range they covers. The range it will move like 2 days, 2 days to reach. So if you want to dispatch and yet put all of your or 90% of your vehicles into it. Playing like this will be very dangerous, because it will be answered by my reinforcement vehicles. So boom. So it is a little bit brave of him trying to get back, and for me, I would prefer to conjunct these two set of units and having a normal power force, forcing me to respond or forcing me to place a very covered positions, so that Kindle will gain advantage from the positions. This kind of yet is badly not advocated, because as long as I can calculate correct, I will boom my superpower this turn, which is very bad information for him. See? The Rick's superpower is very strong. It will be even stronger if he will try to put lots of vehicles in his range. So, boom. From here, consequence is just obvious. So we just stop here, and I showcase like 3 or 4 crucial points you don't want to do during your yeet. So let's have a look another sample. This map is very old. This map has a lot of history, and I'm not going to introduce this map. And this matchup is also very common, Eagle and Max matchup. Lots of great programmers already showed what should we do in this kind of matchup. Okay, this time I see his recon, so it was a little bit covered over there because in this map if a recon reached there at day 6, right? Day 6, it's not going to be a tank backup. It's a little bit covered, but always being covered as Eagle is a very good habit. Just take it in mind. When Eagle is not going to be covered, it was the very crucial moment that he's going to have his superpower. So from this turn, I saw his. I think I saw his 2 vehicles. That was very risky, huh? Because I saw his 2 vehicles, so I decided to yeet from here. It is a little not very impatient, but it's bad. See, I got heavily punished, and my recon got punished as well. It was not that bad because I have a tank reinforced over there. So I sit back from here, and at this moment, at this moment, I know I cannot really yeet here because there's not going to be enough space for me to yeet correctly. So I still decided to retreat. I bait him into being impatient. That is a very bad idea. Put a recon on shows, even if it is a max recon. Max recon does not gain extra defense. So playing like that is a little bit risky, but it's fine because it's my weak side. I'm not going to have answers towards this area. So then the tanks got punished. The recon got punished, and sadly, it was exchanged by another 2 vehicles. And at this crucial moment, I know my vehicles at the top is not enough. So my more forces is over there, trying to use this infantry to bait my opponent to put his force in range. Another very important factor, I think, is the 5th factor you need to take it in mind, is that you want to always find out where is your weak side, where is your strong side. It is always very dynamic. Weak side and strong side, to be honest, is not mostly determined by the unit counts, but also by the unit positions. If you units are on the very close your reinforcement range, even if the units count will not be that as many as your opponent's yeeting units, but at the same time it will keep reinforcing, so it cannot really be called a weak side or that weak side. So I answered back. I decided to shift down. My job is to keep 1, 2, 3, these 3 properties safe. So I decided to swing down. During your yeet procedures, it is always also very important in mind to keep from switching, because fog is never about boom, 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 keep fighting in one only areas. It is about fight here, few turns, boom, fight there. That's how fog is funny. So he tries to yeet here. Since I saw my 1 HP recon very great. He saw the entire moves, so I know I'm not going to throw my battlecopter. This is a bit risky, but it's fine. At least it's a damage unit. So from here, I know he started to swing up over there, and from there I can see it's a little bit risky. Two tanks, one on city, one on plains, and already no recon, already no anti. Yes, very risky, very risky. I try to harass here because I didn't expect he wasn't really 140 decibel over this center, so why my two of the copters dare to engage over there. But seeing back, it's better to copter take the engagement of this copter so that the antenna cannot move that far. A little bit short of considering. So, boom! It looks almost dying for me, but it's Eagle. So, see, yeeting procedures, how to yeet properly in the game is very game decided. Or you're Eagle. Boom. Coming back. So from there, a little thing to take in mind is that I take advantage of his liking region. Yeah, I yell from here, so I put my antenna over there so that his tank and medium tank will not spot my antenna. Region mischief. Oh, that was a little bit risky. But I have also to mention that I didn't really watch the medium tank build very clearly. So this was very risky. So another thing very important before you yeeting, look at the replays accordingly. So boom, it was heavy response over there. So at this crucial moment, I know my units should shift down to reinforce. Yeah, and his brutal medium tank. So I reinforce down. This was a really weird turn because even if it's a max medium tank, he let me strike first. But let's see. This is a very devastating turn. Boom, see? Oh. But I'm Eagle. Still come back to income. Sorry. The unit value, yes. Devastating, huh? But still comebackable. Boom. To be very honest, I don't really like his max build because max does not really need that many heavy vehicles. He wants copter tank, already enough to destroy Eagle. So from here, even if he can strike boom, 2 free battle copters hit, it will be answered by my tank very close to the reinforcement range. Always keep in mind this. Yeeting is great, but if your yeet will be answered, no matter heavily or adequately, as long as it's going to be answered, it is bad. The sixth thing to take away in mind. So I just accumulated lots of units, build bombers, and finally, one turn made him getting very impatient. So very impatient. So that's the time is losing. I'm almost going to kill all of them in the next turn. So this is another showcase of how to yeet. Finally, one is this. This map, I was surprised to see some max picks recently. Max is not that well in this kind of huge battlecopter heavy maps, because Olaf's superpower, Eagle's superpower, will just be so good. Let's see at the beginnings. Recon harass. Yeah. Yet, early game yeeting is very important to find out crucial recon locations. This is a correct recon location. Even if it is my first strike 7 to 7, too bad. So he sits back, and after there, I saw he's having 2 times yeeting. So, in order to harass Max early game great yeet, added lots of force over there to reinforce. So he yeet with the tank. Yeah, he dare not to engage now. This is a little bit risky because the tank location over there is very vulnerable. But for Olaf, a little bit vulnerable hits is okay for him because he wants his superpower as early as possible without too much damage. Without too much damage. So boom, it was coming back by him. So I started to retreat over there, and I started capturing this property with 3 tanks covering. So keep this in mind. He used 3 tanks to kill how many infantries did he? 2 infantries. He used 3 tanks to kill infantries. So bad idea. And sadly, at this crucial moment, it is overextending. The very moment if he wants to overextend is that his anti-air is at the backup, because it is located very close to the airport. This kind of situation happens in base lightfall maps, like what is called the airport. Airport has a missile on its map. I forgot, a very small map. In this kind of map, it is also very dangerous to yeet into the airport reinforcement range. It is not that cross country or cross town rivalry, the new version. It is unlikely that map copters reinforce that fast, but it is not very slow, 1 to 2 turns. It's being badly overextended 1 turn. So his 3 tanks received my first strike. Because doing this, I'm thinking of I can get now more power charge and get my superpower very fast. And if I do like that, he will receive 3 injured units after the superpower. He has to either join units or he has to repair them accordingly. Costs a huge number of income. So over there, I would prefer to say he kept using his vehicles to kill my infantries, which is pretty bad idea. Don't do it. And over there, he is so slow that I cannot feel my superpower charge. He's so slow. Not enough units for me to kill. See, even if I receive his first superpower, only it was died like 25,000. It is acceptable, very acceptable, because my superpower will take a lot. Boom, see? 60,000. So he's just too slow. I decided getting there because at the same time I saw a bomber. My bomber is reaching the spot because timely I saw his new tank reinforcing. So that is quite and the consequence is very obvious. So well, let's stop here. Thanks for watching. This is some of my brief ideas about the yeeting tactics in Global League Fog. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.